Is if you can just let me know if you are able to see this file that I'm presenting. So first of all, I am very happy that we are able to do once again this free webinar. I hope my voice is enough audible, and also if I'm also visible right now. If somebody can just let me know over the comment section, live chat, or over the WhatsApp, it will be great of you. So anyway, so today I thought we'll do a short webinar again on the recent changes in the Patents Act as a result of certain new acts which have been very recently promulgated. One of which is the Jan Vishwas Act, and the other is the Biodiversity Act. For the later half of this session, I have requested Sunita Sridharan to also join us and maybe give us some background of what has been the earlier Biodiversity Act, why there has been a change, and how it really impacts the Patent Act provision for and what different patent agents needs to know. I think these two important changes that have happened in this year are really important for all of us to know, as far as also exam point of view, because there'll be questions based on hopefully these two new acts, and you will have to accordingly choose the right one. So we will go ahead with the first one, which is the Jan Vishwas Act. So we will go ahead with the first one, and this is also called as Jan Vishwas Amendment of Provisions Act 2023. This is number 18th number law or the act for this year 2023. This act was promulgated on 12th of August, when President also gave the consent or assent on 11th August 2023. So the Patent Act has already been updated as of 31st August 2023. We are going to see some of the provisions. This Jan Vishwas Act has been introduced now, as I said, and it has led to certain changes in the various penalty sections of the Indian Patents Act. These penalties sections are from 120 to 124. And I will just let you know what the old provision mentioned about and what is the new change that has come into the fore. So it talks about unauthorized claim of a patent right. If you would see, while people are manufacturing and they are manufacturing and selling their products in market, some of the times you would have seen that on those products there is listed, some patent number, not the patent number, either they'll say patent applied or patent granted, but there is no patent number listed. Many of the times there might be a misuse of this, and people may not have actually filed or registered for the patent, and they might just be, duping people by simply mentioning that the patent application has been filed or it has been granted. So if there is a person who is doing so and there is a false representation, in the previous act, there would have been a penalty of, it is a punishable offense, and the penalty could extend up to 1 lakh rupees. Now, as a result of Jan Vishwas Act, this penalty has been enhanced, and this can go up to 10 lakh rupee, as you can see here. And there could be a further penalty of 1,000 rupee for every year after first offense, during which such offense continues. So there is quite an enhanced penalty now. Then if you go further, while rest of the text remains the same, there is largely change in the statutory penalty provisions. So now when you receive a question in the patent agent examination, this is what you will have to now choose as per the new act. Now we go ahead, and there is also section 121. This is for the wrongful use of the word patent office. If any office, if in any document, if any person is using the name of a patent office, while he is not even associated with it, he's not an officer over there. So this is a punishable offense. This used to be a punishable offense. Now, as a result of Jan Vishwas Act, this is already omitted, right? Section 122, this is if any person refuses or fails to provide any information. Section 122 is linked to your section 146 also, and form 27. So this is where every patentee has to file a working statement as to whether a person is working his invention or not, and during different periods, in periodic manner, as it has been mentioned in section 146, one has to provide details to the patent office as to how that person is actually working his invention. Now, if he fails to do so, if he refuses or fails to do so, it was a punishable offense. This was a civil crime, right? Civil offense, wherein there could be a punishment with respect to some fine could be imposed to the tune of rupees 10 lakh. Now, with the Jan Vishwas Act, this penalty has been revised. It still remains to be a civil offense here, as far as there is a refusal or failure to provide information about the working. The amount has been changed. Now he shall be liable to pay penalty, which may extend up to 1 lakh rupee in case of and in case of continued offense. If he continues to do so, then same 1,000 rupees for every time, for every day that he does during the time when he is continuing to do it for whatever period of time. So this penalty, this has been changed. Then if you go further, there is another liability, or there is another obligation on the patentee to provide for or to furnish information when the controller has asked him to do so. During this time, if he files or provides a false information, and he is aware that he is providing a false information, or he has reason to believe so, then it shall also be a punishable offense with an imprisonment, which may extend up to 6 months or with fine or both. This was under the old act. Now this has been changed, even this penalty section. So this used to be a criminal offense with a lot of advocacy, and when people said that largely Patent Act provides for a civil offense, why should there be a criminal liability in this case? So Jan Vishwas Act has led to change in this. It has become a civil offense now. There is no criminal liability, which means there will be no imprisonment anymore. But if in case a person is not providing a correct information, he has provided a false information, then he shall be liable to pay penalty, which shall be equal to the sum for a sum equal to 0.5% of the total sale or turnover, as the case may be, of that business or of the gross receipts in the profession, as computed in audited accounts of such person. So basically 0.5% of the earnings or the total sale or turnover of that company will be charged, or whatever he may have received as a gross income during his profession, or a sum equal to 5 crore rupees, whichever is less shall be substituted. So this particular criminal liability has been substituted with it being now considered as a civil offense, and there is an enhancement in the fine. There is another section, which is section 123, which is about the practice by the non-registered patent agents. Okay, and so here, if there is any person who is contravening to the provisions of the Patent Act, in terms of he is representing as patent agent while he is actually not qualified to do so, he has not ever registered himself, he never took the exam, his name is not in the register, he is not a registered patent agent, then it is a punishable offense. In the old act, it was 1 lakh rupee, which may extend up to 1 lakh rupee. It could be even less for the first offense, and 5 lakh rupee in case of second or subsequent offense. Now, even this has been changed. He shall now be liable to a penalty which may extend to 5 lakh rupee, and in case of continuing default, to further penalty of 1,000 rupees for every day. So this is the change. that has now happened. So one has to carefully choose the option when you receive in your exam. The other is with regard to section 124, which is offenses by the companies. Now it is considered that even there could be offenses by the company. Certainly company is not a person, right? It doesn't have hands or legs or mouth to commit any offense. So this is called as piercing of the corporate veil, where people who are actually responsible for that offense would then be held liable. It could be company's director. It could be offense could have been done with the connivance of secretary or director or somebody else, as you can see here, or the manager. So under the old act, there was a penalty that could be levied, but this penalty was not provided for. It was left open. There was no statutory penalty. With the new act, even now, there is no penalty provided. However, the act provides for the adjudication of these penalties by the adjudicating officer. So there is an insertion of section 124A and 124B, which also talks about the appeal. So any person who is aggrieved with the outcome laid by adjudicating officer, he can also prefer an appeal further within a period of 60 days. This 60 days could, if somebody misses these 60 days, then it could even be extended if a person is able to convince to the appellate authority as to what could have been the reasons that he could not file an appeal within the period of 60 days. And there is a whole set of provision, this whole set of text provided for, which gives you the entire sequence or step-by-step details of what is to be done if adjudicating officer, you go to him, you file an appeal, how it is to be done. So every procedure is now provided for. So in nutshell, if I have to say about the Jan Vishwas Act, it has led to decriminalization of a lot of offenses, and basically from the imprisonment, there would not be any imprisonment anymore because of any non-compliance. However, there is enhancement of the penalties. So I think this is what I wanted to talk to you about the Jan Vishwas Act today. And I'm thinking because it's a Diwali season and it's we are already done 15 minutes of video. The shorter the video, the better it is. What I will do is that next week we can do a more detailed video on the Biodiversity Act. I have received requests from many students that maybe we postpone the next half of today's session to next Saturday, which I think it's a reasonable ask also. And all of you do enjoy your Diwali. Wish you a very happy Diwali to you and all your near and dear ones. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you next Saturday.